Good afternoon, and again, welcome to BAD-2710. So I wanted to give you a little heads up on this week and some of the things you're going to look at. Obviously, you've read the syllabus, you know the schedule. We're only going to be here together for 9 weeks, so it's a fast-paced course, and typically you'll be doing about 2 chapters a week for most weeks. So just make sure that you stay up on your reading. The number one thing you've got to do, you absolutely have to do right off the bat, is get your My Management Lab or My Lab Management access through Pearson. Make sure that you click on any of the assignments that I have in My Learning. It will take you to the My Lab Management site where you'll just put in your book code. If you have not purchased your book code yet, do this anyway, because it will give you a complimentary access for the first week, and you can keep up with your assignments. So since you're able to log in, you're able to get access to My Lab Management right away. As I've said in my syllabus, I will not entertain late assignments. There's really no excuse for not going ahead and doing your login and registration. Even if you're waiting on your VA funding or whatever it is, just make sure you get that login and go ahead and do the connection and start your assignments. All right, so let's talk about this week. First chapter, you're going to be dealing with looking at really what are we talking about and defining organizational behavior. And as you'll see in your textbook, we're really just talking about how the people, groups, individuals, teams, those types of things interact with each other and how they impact the organization as a whole in its achievement of its goals. So it's base level stuff in chapter 1. Chapter 2 gets into more fun topics, and sometimes when I teach this in class, we engage in a lot of lively discussion about our personal experiences, things like that. It's a little more difficult when we're talking about doing this in an online environment, but we're talking a lot about diversity. And diversity is a word that people throw around all over the place, and they just very freely throw that word out there when they're talking about organizational requirements. But we have to understand, what do we mean by diversity? So if I ask you, what do you mean by diversity? Most people are going to talk about the organization has a mix of all races and sexes and things like that. So as you read through this topic in chapter 2, the number one takeaway I want you to understand is that predominantly we're talking about, as organizations will pursue it, they're looking at surface level diversity. Those things that you can see. You could see that people are different. You could see that there are different sexes, different races, different backgrounds, things like that. But what we have to understand in human relations is that we want to get deeper than the surface. We want to look at deep level diversity. We want to understand how people think, how their upbringing influences their decision making. Those are the important things to an organization. You can walk into a boardroom and see 10 people around the board table who look exactly the same, regardless of what race, sex. It makes no difference. However, based on their background, they could be completely diverse. It could be a very diverse organization because they were brought up in different areas. They have different ways of thinking. They bring about different ideas. Conversely, you can walk into a boardroom that's mandated to have X number of female, X number of male, X number of these different races, and assume that that boardroom is a very diverse boardroom. But they could all have the same background. They could have all been raised in the same type of neighborhoods, in the same education system, with the same values, and therefore their thinking is not going to be diverse. they're going to tend to come up with the same thought patterns, the same decisions, the same outcomes. So an organization seeks to find a diverse group of people that can drive it to a better outcome. The more opinions you have, the more different ways you come up with of doing things, the better chance that you're going to find the best way. And that's really what we're talking about in organizations when we're looking at diversity and what diversity will bring to the organization as a whole. So I look forward to talking to you throughout these 9 weeks. Please make sure that you engage in the discussions. There's only a few of those. Get on your assignments early, but have conversations, side conversations with your classmates. Send me questions. Feel free to post videos about your thoughts, things like that. Sometimes when we do a discussion, it doesn't have to be a written response like this. Sit outside. It's summertime. Talk about what you're going to say, what you think, what you feel, how these topics have impacted you in your professional life or your personal life. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to working with you throughout this class. Thank you.